referee tonight, Victor Rivas. He blows the whistle, and we are underway here between Reno and Tacoma. With the way things have started for Reno the last couple of matches, Brian, I imagine you want to see Reno start fast. It's something they did not do in their matches against Fresno or Portland.
No, I'd like to see them get a goal early, especially when they have the run of play, unlike the other night. And this is a good start.
Some space for Sam Gleedle. Tried to center it that time for Corey Herzog, and Atencio able to get it away.
Yeah, Sam went to play it in there early. It looks like he could have probably taken a touch or two and walked it in a little bit further.
Saw Reno move Gleedle to fullback towards the end of the match and getting up and down the field from there. He's certainly a guy that can kind of jumpstart the offense on different sides, and we'll see how they utilize him on the right side of that midfield tonight.
Yeah, and hopefully Brent Richards can get up the field tonight like Sam was doing at the end of the game last time.
Here's Richards on the defensive ends.
But Reno tends to have the most success when their outside backs are getting involved in the attack.
Throw-in comes from Duke Lacroix, who was instrumental in Reno's finish on set of the Danny Mazovsky goals, and he has notched 3 assists in his last 2 matches. Look out for him at left back, coming up and down the sideline for Ian Russell. Back in goal for Trey Muse, another young player, just 20 years old, as he gets his 17th start in goal this year. Back to Thomas Janjigian, keeps it away from Dillon. Good takeaway there from Mafeka, but the whistle comes, and play goes back in favor of Tacoma. Reno doing well to keep possession early in this match, first couple of minutes. Bersano playing keep away as they advance it up to Brent Richards. Richards into Mazovsky, and Danny Mazovsky puts it to the back of the nets. Reno's on the board here in the 4th minute.
Well, Mazovsky's on a roll. But what a wonderful ball from Richards. Perfectly played. Great touch from Mazovsky, and then a wonderful finish at the end.
Danny Mazovsky with his 6th goal of the year, and that is a new career high, as he has now scored 4 goals in the last 4 matches for Reno. Now look at his physical play, getting in there and getting around the defender. He got around Atencio, the 17-year-old, and was able to finish after what you said. What a perfect ball from Brent Richards.
Yeah, great vision. Just put it right on his foot. But Mazovsky had a lot to do there. He held off his defender, showed some strength, showed composure, and showed what a good finisher he's been lately.
Definitely like the pace that Reno's coming out with here early.
Well, it's exactly what they needed. They needed some excitement, something to get excited about. And not playing from behind is obviously much better than where they've been starting lately.
Another win in the midfield, get it up to Gleedle. His 3rd assist of the year. Trying to throw that one in for Herzog, and it's cleared away. Once again, Reno not giving up on the play as Lacroix goes up to try.
Looks like they're going to high press this team. They feel like they have the better team, and I think they're right. They should continue high pressing, trying to win the ball further up the field, making things difficult for Tacoma.
More pressure coming from Reno. Here's Sam Gleedle. Gleedle knocked over in the box, but by his own doing, won't get a whistle. Out to midfield. Robinson pressuring towards the ball as Bersano steps out and kicks it back towards the middle of the field.
This is the position that Reno likes to be in, having a goal lead, being a possession-oriented team. Now they can make the other team chase and wait for holes to open up and get in for a second goal.
Well, that's typically the type of team you see here at Greater Nevada Field in Reno 1868, a team that starts fast, that applies a lot of pressure, especially early in the match, wants to play ahead. But it's a recipe that they've not been able to follow in their last couple of matches. In Tacoma, I don't think they've had more than 2 passes.
A good hold-up play from Herzog.
Here's Gleedle streaking along that right side. 4 white shirts between him and goal. Tried to tee one up there for Mazovsky. That was a pretty good ball to get in there. But at the start of play, Reno with a 4-point advantage over Austin, who sits in 4th place. With a match between those two looming next week.
Well, which makes it imperative that they pick up 3 points in the hunt for the playoffs now. And some teams are fortunate that they've got a nice home schedule for the rest of the way. But Reno doesn't have that luxury. So they need every point they can get at home.
Two of the next 3 will be away from Greater Nevada Field after Austin. Reno heads down to New Mexico to take on Chris Wehan and the New Mexico United. Back here at home on the 28th of September to take on Real Monarchs SLC. Good ball in there, trying to find Dillon, and defended here in the 10th minute. Seymour gets his head on it. Back to Daly. Daly takes a shot and 2 wide as Bersano will quickly put it back into play. He's got Herzog and Mazovsky up top. Where Herzog working against Alex Villanueva. Those of you just joining us, about a 40-minute lightning delay at the start of this match tonight. Got underway right around 7:40. A couple minutes shy of that. Reno able to get on the board at the 4th minute on a goal by Danny Mazovsky. Pressure for another, but couldn't quite link up as Muse will go and pick it up.
And now that the storm's blown out, it's a pretty nice night. Yeah.
Can you believe that? Unbelievable. Coming off of one of the wildest winters in history for this region. Kind of a late arriving summer that didn't really seem like it lasted very long, and all of a sudden, snowfall on Mount Rose Highway in September 10th. It's almost snowed in every single month this year. The only exception would be July and August. It snowed in June.
That's the way it is here. You can get snow anytime. But it's crazy how it just went from 90 degrees to fall weather in a couple days. It looks like Tacoma's starting to feel themselves a little bit. They're getting more possession, starting to knock the ball around.
Seymour coming in with a shoulder. Able to take possession away. First game of the season. Came over last year on loan from FC Cincinnati and decided to stay and sign a contract with Reno in the offseason. Talking about Reno and their success scoring early. With the last time that they had the game's first goal, it was way back on August the 3rd against Rio Grande Valley, and that was this time will come from Nick Hines. Lacroix trying to get back on defense. Janjigian slides in, kept it from going out of bounds.
Good hustle.
Well, that's what you're seeing up and down the field right now. Hustle from all 11 guys, and you can really tell that this team has been injected with some energy.
Yeah, one of their main focus has been on that transition, getting up and back, mostly on the back. But that's where they've been really hurt, is teams that have really good counterattacks. It's really hurt Reno this season.
Swing it around for Hines. Robinson. Linda Mafeka collects it. Will send it the other way. Danny couldn't keep it at his feet. Now a chance for Tacoma to regather.
And here's Reno needs to be careful and not let off the gas too much. Seems to be what gets them in trouble in some of the other games.
Galindo did well to keep that one from going out. Dangerous ball here. Herzog has Mazovsky. Couldn't quite line it up for him. You can see the frustration from Corey. That was a good spot for those two to have a little space.
Yeah, it was almost a good link-up play between the two of them. Good 1v1 defending from Lacroix.
Taken away by Lacroix. Really good ball movement here from Reno. Mafeka sends it wide for Brent Richards. Very patient. Mafeka trying to backheel that one for Herzog. Couldn't quite line it up.
That's a better build-up, good movement through there. Unfortunately, that last touch just wasn't on.
Richards trying to cross-field it for Lacroix.
There's some lack of options there. It looks like Reno's kind of going back into a lull and not moving off the ball like they should. Like what they can do anyway.
18 minutes in, Reno on top 1-0 thanks to an early goal from Danny Mazovsky, as he was able to find the back of the net in the 4th minute after a perfect ball was laid in by Brent Richards. Mazovsky, both goals in the match on Saturday in the early. He had 5 last year during his rookie campaign. Up, rolled in.
This is what Reno needs to keep doing, just keep pressing higher up the field.
Janjigian gets his head on it. Back to Robinson. And Tacoma will reset. Off of Gleedle. Actually, it didn't. Went back off of Hines. Shot on goal. Bersano's there after the deflection. No problem there.
That's what we want to see from Reno. In the previous games, they were getting pressure on the top of the box. They're finally getting pressure there, not giving up the easy shots. If they continue to do that, they'll be successful tonight.
Richards able to help force a turnover there. Back to Janjigian. Good ball by Lacroix to find Kasipli. Goes back to Kasipli.
He should have played Herzog on the first ball.
Lacroix with the throw in. Didn't put it where he wanted to. And whistle goes. From our official scores, Trey Muse, who is listed as tonight's starting goalkeeper, was scratched right before kickoff. And it is Jamie Lowell who is starting the night in goal for Tacoma. So it was Jamie Lowell who Muse. Muse has had the majority of the goalkeeping time this year. So a chance to get Lowell some action. Broken up that time by Jesse Daly. Lowell's another really young player, the third sub-18-year-old. He is only 17 years old. Seymour gets it out of harm's way. Up to Gleedle. Lowell, who is in goal for Muse for Tacoma, intends to play college soccer. He was able to commit a couple of months ago to the University of Maryland.
Of the sport. Where previously all of our younger pretty equal. As far as the players that they'll be playing with, you would think that the USL would give them a better experience as far as play. Help.
Robinson plays it back in. Herzog trying to spur a counterattack, couldn't keep it in bounds though. And a throw-in coming from Villanueva. Another tough Victor Rivas blows the whistle on Tacoma. Quickly back into play, they find Richards. Richards lays it in perfectly. And who but Danny Mazovsky, his second of the night and fourth in the last two matches. Another Richards to Mazovsky combination as Reno takes a 2-0 lead.
Another great ball by Richards here at finding the head of Mazovsky, who that's his third goal in 2 games with his head. He's turned out to be super dangerous in the air. And that's one of the things, Reno's been lacking, but I think they found themselves getting around the outsides and getting those crosses in again. That's where they've been really successful.
Well, their last 4 goals have been very similar, where it's outside back. Richards tonight, it was Lacroix in the waning minutes of the match against Fresno on Saturday, where he was really spurring it from the outside and doing that exact same thing.
Yeah, and I've always talked about it. This team is really at its best when those outside backs are getting forward and being dangerous. It causes problems for the other team.
And a third goal, and Seth Kasipli. Mazovsky this time cut through the teeth of the defense, and Seth Kasipli makes it 3-0.
Well, it just opened them up now, Alex. They beat them on the outsides, and that put some fear into them, and now the inside opens up. And a nice goal from Giuseppe.
To me, it all starts with one thing, and I've said this already a couple times tonight. It's the effort. I mean, you're seeing guys flying up and down the fields, and if there's any sort of space or any sort of opportunity, Reno is going full on the gas trying to exploit it.
Yeah, they're playing like a team that has their back up against the wall. And they needed to do this against Fresno. But if they can continue this throughout the season, we can expect good things.
Richards has 2 assists, and Kasipli picks up his 4th of the year. All-time now 11 goals in a Reno 1868 uniform.
Well, he's been hot of late, and you want to stick with the hot hand, or hot foot, or hot head in this case.
Well, nice cushion for Matt Persano and company. Heading into the 30th minute. And Reno once again looking like one of the top teams in the Western Conference. What can they do with this? Danny again. Keeps his feet. Mazovsky hits a hat trick. Oh my! 4-0 Reno as Danny Mazovsky with his 3rd of the night.
Everything seems to be coming together tonight. Beautiful ball from Herzog all the way across the field. And again, Danny does a great job of holding off his defender, turning, and taking a beautiful shot to the corner. And this is what we expect of Reno.
What a night for Danny Mazovsky. 5 goals in the last, basically, 32 minutes of regulation play?
Well,
call it 35 minutes of soccer. He has scored 5 goals.
He's on fire. He is on fire. And they are playing beautiful balls into him. He's making great runs. The service is there. And then his finishing has been just top-notch.
A rout here in the first half And it all started in the 4th minute with the fastest goal that Reno has notched this year. That goal by Mazovsky to get them on the scoreboard, the fastest since June 15th when Corey Herzog had the previous high. Now, Reno certainly came out with a purpose here tonight.
Well, yeah, and since they lost Brian Brown, they've really been looking for somebody to take that spot, and Danny's really stepping up.
Mazovsky also joined Sam Gleedle to have at least 2 goals and an assist in the match. He did that back on July 3rd against Rio Grande Valley. Starting to get a very similar feel to a match that happened in the inaugural season when Reno scored a franchise record 9 goals against a very young LA Galaxy team. A very young Tacoma team here tonight with 3 players under the age of 18. And this experienced Reno group is making it very tough on them.
Yeah, the experience of Reno is really showing tonight against this younger team.
Lindo curls it to try and make some stops, but that was a great one. Cleared out by Galindo. Checking out possession, I was expecting it to be this much more lopsided in the other direction. Surprisingly, Tacoma has actually possessed the ball for 60% of this match.
Really? I mean, they had a spell of 10 minutes there where they were moving the ball around on Reno, and Reno just had backed up after that first goal. So maybe that's where most of their possession came in. But now it's all Reno.
Goals in the 4th, 26th, 27th, and 30th minutes tonight. 3 goals in a 4-minute span. Reno is not letting off the gas. Here's Lacroix. Oh, good ball into Kisipli, who couldn't control it, but a beautiful lay-in there by Duke Lacroix coming around that left side.
Well, that's what Lacroix gives you on that left-hand side. He can get around that corner quicker than anybody, and then his service is usually fantastic. And there he laid one on a silver platter for Kisipli and just didn't put it away.
Tacoma just trying to get out of their own half right now. Able to break through that midline. Good patience here by the Defiants, but given away as Gleedle advances it forward to Herzog. Tune into ESPN3 tomorrow, September 11th at 7:30 for an electrifying edition of Wednesday Night Soccer. High-flying Phoenix Rising heads to Las Vegas to meet the Lights in an action-packed Western Conference showdown. See it all tomorrow, September 11th at 7:30 during Wednesday Night Soccer on ESPN3. Brian, would you be surprised to hear that Phoenix still has not lost?
At this point, no.
Wow.
I would not be surprised.
What a year for the Phoenix Rising, who have set a new U.S. outdoor record at any level of professional soccer in the United States for the amount of wins that they have put together. That total has now reached 18 consecutive matches.
That's incredible.
Picked up a win this weekend over San Antonio. After their match tomorrow against Las Vegas, they'll play this coming weekend against Los Dos. Chance here for Tacoma. Lacroix does well to get in the way of that shot. A ricochet by Daly goes out of bounds.
And one or two more wins for Phoenix, and that should clinch their home field advantage for the playoffs.
Phoenix has won every single match that they have played since May 10th. We're not talking about draws or just having simply not lost. We're talking about winning 3 points in every single match, 18 in a row, going back to May 10th. Not a lot of people saw that coming after they started the season 2-2-5.
No, they made quite a few changes. Then Asante and John just came on there in mid-season, and they haven't looked back. They just keep scoring goals. They're such a deadly combination, those two. He's feeling it. He's taking them long shots now.
Good Sipley into Lindo. Richards. Cleared away by Villanueva. Sipley trying to get around Villanueva, who last. Tacoma doing well to get that one out of harm's way. Back to midfield with Roldan. A couple times they've been able to kind of keep possession and link up some passes, but really nothing has been much of a threat on Matt Persano tonight.
No, that's a credit to Reno, and they must have went back into training and really focused on their defense in the final third and the middle third of the field, because it's been a lot better tonight. With the speed of play and the passing has been great.
Here comes Richards along the right side. You kidding me? 4 goals for Danny Mazovsky. 5-0 Reno.
And another great ball from Richards to Mazovsky. It's almost like watching Beckham hit crosses to York and Cole back in the old Manchester United days.
Just lay it up there, and he's going to finish it.
Yeah.
3rd assist for Richards. 4th goal for Mazovsky, who is the first player this year to record a hat trick. And this is going to be a special night for the 22-year-old out of Henderson, who has nearly doubled his goal total on the season.
Well, he's finding his form at the right time. You start scoring goals at the end of the season. That's a good thing.
When you're at Tacoma, what do you do to try and stop this?
Well, one, I guess you got to pick up Mazovsky as he's coming through the box.
Ooh, how about that save by Bersano? Diving grab as that one came off the foot of Dillon. Holding on to that clean sheet here in the first half.
Yeah, I'm sure he's really wanting to get another clean sheet on the board. It'd be nice if some other players start scoring and
spread the wealth a little bit.
Spread the wealth, and hopefully everybody will start scoring going forward in these next few games. But I'm glad to see Reno working those wings again like they were when they were getting their wins.
in a match all season. Right into the wall. Seymour, the clear, gets it out to Mazovsky. He's got 2 blue shirts on his right. Into Herzog. Corey.
Feeling fancy. You know, as a forward, you see the other forward scoring, and you're just itching to get your own.
With Reno up 5-0 and formed no stoppage time at half. Galindo on top of that one, gets it away from Roldan. Here's Lacroix. Over to Seymour. And there's the first half whistle. Well, Reno was... And for Brent, now 10 in his USL career with Reno 1868, as he has had one of his best matches of the season. So we're underway here in the second half as Reno continues here against Tacoma, trying to add on to their 5-0 lead. And here right away is Mazovsky into the box before being knocked down. Will garner a whistle.
That was great skill to get through those defenders there.
Duke Lacroix on the throw-in. Reese 2. So that is the marker in terms of most goals scored as a team in their 3-year history. Here's Justin Dillon, leading scorer for Tacoma. Gets tripped up. Was he in the box for the Sounders? Dillon, rejected by Bersano, diving to his left. What a job by Matt Bersano as he keeps a clean sheet alive.
And that's got to feel great for Bersano after the game he had the other night. Get back in form tonight.
Another look here. Dillon going to his right, and Bersano is all over it to snuff it out.
Well, that'll wake Reno up. They don't want to come out sloppy this half. They want to keep it rolling.
I know Tacoma comes in as being the last place team of the Western Conference, but the way that things have been going for Reno, this kind of result has to be a big jolt to confidence back for this team that really just could not buy a win in the last month, but trying to get back into form now into the final stretch of the season with the playoffs looming towards the end of October.
Yeah, and we're going to find it's going to be really important that Danny gets those goals and finds his form after those injuries. And it could make all the difference going into the playoffs.
Chance here for Tacoma. They'll send it wide out for Hopiao. And Richards on the clearance. Haven't heard Hopiao's name much tonight either. He's got 4 goals, which is second best on the team, but both him and Dillon, aside from that penalty kicks earned, have been pretty quiet tonight. Back to Hopiao. Trying to get around Duke Lacroix. Teed one up. But Daly, who had 13 coming in, now a combined 22 at the top of Reno's lineup. Make them two of the best forward combinations in the USL.
Seymour's had a really good game in there in the 6. Been pretty quiet, but just doing his job, plugging away. Closing down those passing lanes in the middle.
Dillon couldn't get that one as it goes back into Bersano. Matt Bersano with 2 clean sheets this year. He's got 17 in his career, over 50 starts. It's a pretty incredible percentage. That's 34% of the matches that he has started over his career. He has recorded a clean sheet.
That's pretty good. That's the type of goalie you want on your squad.
Punches that one away. Defended well that time by Gleedle. Gives it right back. Villanueva coming up from his fullback spot. Dillon trying to hold up. And again, Gleedle.
Sloppy. Like to see things pick up.
Tacoma's got 3 or 4 guys running up and down for Reno. Luis Paradella, one of the newest members of the team, a forward, has gotten up. He's loosening it up behind their bench. Here's Lindo Mafeka. Dumps it off to Lacroix. Centers it. Herzog trying to go to the bicycle and couldn't find it.
That'd been great if he could have got a piece of it. Well, this will be a great game to get the 2 new signings in. Hopefully we'll get to see both of them come in tonight.
Paradella signed from Cuba. He was the first ever player to come over from Cuba with a visa and sign with the team of the United States without defecting. Did that a couple of weeks ago. Made his debut on Saturday against Fresno. Reno also last week adding Mattia, 6 caps. In national team play, Paradella has notched 5 goals for Cuba. You could never have too many goal scorers.
No, the more the better. And if one's going cold, hopefully you got another one waiting in the wings. But right now, Danny's on fire.
Paradella got 17 minutes in that game against Fresno. As Casipli races up to keep possession. Finds Paradella. Paradella, right-footed strike. Almost set up a rebound for Mazovsky, but Lowell is able to pull it back in.
Yeah, Lowell made that interesting by not handling that the first time.
Taken away by Lacroix, then the they'll continue to rise up those rankings after a 5-goal performance, but defensively, you're right on it. I mean, you're talking about a team that has allowed 47 goals this year, and that puts them in the bottom third when it comes to the best defensive teams in the league. Defense wins championships, and if you want to go deep into the postseason, defense is going to have to be there.
Yeah, and if your team's scoring goals and you can just keep a few less out, you give yourself a much better chance.
Last shutout for Reno came on July 27th against Colorado Springs. A 4-0 victory here at home. That was during a time period where Reno had 3 consecutive shutouts in a row at home. What a change of events. You go from 3 consecutive shutouts to a couple of consecutive losses here at home.
Yeah, and they would have been in a better place earlier in the season. Some of those games they went up 2 goals and they ended up losing 3-2.
Seymour trying to clear, but Dillon keeps it in play. That time it was Richards getting his body in front of it. Reno is 61 goals now on the year. That is 3 behind New York. The number 1 scoring team and tied for 3rd on the defensive end.
When Reno's really going to need to put it all together these next few games, because almost every team they play is in the hunt for the playoffs. Real Monarchs, El Paso, and Las Vegas, all of them in the hunt. So they don't have an easy game coming up.
I mean, the only team that really is kind of on the outside of that is Tulsa at 27 points. They're tied for 16th. But Las Vegas is still in the mix, as you said. El Paso, the Tacoma Defiance. This 5-0 separation is big as well in goal differential. Reno came in with 9, and that could jump them to 14. They'll have some work to do still on Fresno. Their goal differential this year is 17. Could be a deciding factor for some seeding.
Let's see. And 2 subs I'd like to see is Mendiola come in and then maybe Triani. I'd like to see him in the game.
Duke Lacroix taking it down the field, decides to unload and straight on to Lowell. Paradella has his shot deflected. Chance here for Tacoma. Reno closes on it, though, as Lacroix gets in front of that one along with Galindo. Hanging on to that clean sheet here in the 63rd minute.
Yeah, that's the type of tackles and things that weren't happening in the last few games that were causing the goals, and they're doing a much better job tonight.
Finest leagues in the world. Since 1947, Select has been the leader in soccer ball quality and innovation. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit SelectSportAmerica.com. Alongside Brian Slusser, I'm Alex Margulies. Julian Delgadio down on the sidelines. We'll be with our player of the match after this concludes tonight. Anyone stand out?
Well, obviously the goal scorer, and then Brent Richards. I mean, without Brent Richards serving up those perfect balls.
Thing for Danny not to take that one home tonight. Maybe if Rich...
Yeah, he might pass him if he does that. I'd like to see Paradella get more of the ball and get more active in this game.
Galindo puts it back into play over to fellow center back Thomas Janjigian. Mafeka gets it out of trouble. Richard steps up. Goes off Reno, though, and to throw the 2022 season. USL excited to announce the championship, and League One will remain with the leader in sports for 3 more years. ESPN Plus. Tacoma possession here in the 67th minute. Reno has a scoring drought, if you could call it that. They have not found the net since the 41st, capping off a 5-goal first half. Got it started in the 4th minute by Mazovsky, who then scored in the 26th, the 27th, or Kisipli rather in the 27th. Mazovsky back at it in the 30th, and then his final goal in the 41st. Here's Mazovsky again. Can he make it 5? Rejected away by Lowell, who did well to swat that one away.
Yeah, an excellent chance to get his 6th, and goes with the outside of the foot and just gets it a little too high. Right up into the keeper's hand.
Dillon with a slide there to keep possession for Tacoma.
Whatever possession Tacoma's had, it's just been mostly left and right. You can't seem to find anything going forward, lacking the creativity to get things done in that final third.
Bersano able to reach up and snatch that one down. Keep it away from some of those big bodies.
Starts the quick counter out to Sam.
Good ball. Trying to get it away from Villanueva.
Good hold up from Gleedle. Great turn from Lacroix.
Lindo! Oh, a screamer goes just high.
Oh, it would have been nice.
Mafeka with 14 during his career with Reno. He's got 4 this year. His highest total was the inaugural season. He had 6 during 2017 when Reno scored then a record 75 goals. I'm going to add to the craziness of the fact that Phoenix has 72 goals, and there's still 6 matches to go.
Yeah, let's see who they play. They could score another 10.
I think that could be a conservative amount for them. 2 a game for the next 5 or 6. Man, special season down there in the desert. We'll see if somebody can challenge them come postseason time. Paradella gets tangled up, and the whistle goes against Reno.
We can look ahead to a very exciting playoff.
Well, grass chunk rare USL matches for the veteran who has spent time with the Galaxy as well as Las Vegas before joining Reno in the offseason. Here's Mendiola, plays it back to Jane Jigian. Into Mazovsky. Danny. Trying to get number 5. Good movement to get Mazovsky in position there. That's what Reno does so well when their offense is firing. They can flip the field, make a couple of quick passes, and get into position very quickly.
Yeah, and the substitution of Mendiola should help speed up the play.
Mendiola's 7 assists on the year, rank him tied for 5th in the entire USL. 4 goals as well. Good hold-up play there by Paradella. Yeah. Get it back to Luis Paradella. Like Danny was knocked over in the middle of the field.
Yeah, he's still lying there. He needs to just get up and play.
And Seymour charging in. Seymour just kind of came in there. He sent a little message. Kind of need that defensive enforcer sometimes, don't you?
Well, you know, Reno just needs to play with that type of passion right now. You know, get that back for the playoffs. Something they haven't played with.
Ray Serrano comes in.
It just seems like Paradella's just still trying to find his way onto this team.
Been with the club now for about 2 weeks. Playing in back-to-back matches. Get some good minutes here tonight. Tacoma will swing it around to the other side. Janjigian gets his body in front of that. He's simply trying to start his counterattack all the way down to Paradella. Good job centering it there. No one home, though. Mazovsky trying to track it down and can't quite get to it.
Yeah, Mazovsky was in the area, just not close enough, but it was a good ball. That's better from Paradella. That's what we want to see.
Just out of the reach of Justin Dillon, who's had a frustrating night, which included a miss on a penalty kick very early in the second half.
Yeah, the ball doesn't lie. I didn't think it was a penalty to start with, so. I don't think a big guy like that should be going down so easily. Great touch. Needed a little bit better run there from Danny.
Well, 12 minutes of regulation to go here tonight. Neither team finding the back of the net here in the second half as Reno tries to complete a clean sheet for the first time in about 2 months. Be a good way to finish out what has been an ugly homestand. Some momentum back as the team heads to a very important match on the road in Austin on Sunday.
Well, there's not much time left, but you would hope that Reno would keep that energy, keep fighting for some more goals, maintain that consistency, something they need to build on.
Bersano has to race it and get back towards goal. Opiao. 2 wide. Paradella. Trying to slot it in there for Mazovsky, and it's broken up. Off of Galindo, and a throw-in coming now for Tacoma, who went scoreless in their match in Sacramento. Trying to avoid being blanked for the second consecutive match. That was after they were able to muster 5 goals in a win over San Antonio, where things were really clicking on August the 30th. But a shutout tonight would be the third they would suffer in their last 5 matches.
That's great movement from Reno.
Duke Lacroix trying to put one towards the upper right-hand corner and go. Triani, 25 goals over his professional career, playing mostly third tier in Germany.
He brings a lot of experience. He's an older player. I imagine being a German player, he brings a lot of discipline as well in his game.
Nice job by Galindo getting his way of that one. A shot attempted by Hope. Well, credit for Tacoma, really, too, as well in this match, not to just throw in the towel at halftime. They have fought to keep Reno further off the scoreboard. And even themselves offensively, they've had Tacoma ready to put it back into play. Over to Ray Serrano. Tencio hangs on to it. Up to Leyva. And it'll go back to keep it away from Triani. Here's Leyva, the 16-year-old from Vegas, wearing number 75. Seen Reno play with some youth this year, Gilbert players. Not atypical for them, being an affiliate of the Seattle Sounders. They seem to like to play their guys at the USL level, very young. Seen that at times as well from LA.
Yeah, as much as you want to win, you still have to develop your players. Get them ready for the next level.
Here's Triani. Not a bad try there, as Lowell was able to snatch it. Here's Triani again. Gets a little crossed up there with Paradella, who gives it back over to Tacoma.
Yeah, again, you can see Tacoma has a possession. They can possess back and forth, but as soon as they start to push forward, Reno just kind of gets in front of them and snuffs it out. Oh, better build-up, though.
See what Tacoma can do with this. Bersano sliding in. Great instincts there to save that one from going in. Threat's not over, though. Another chance, and Bersano's right there to fall on top of it.
Well, just a few more minutes here, and Reno can go away with a win and without having given up a goal.
Here's Triani again with his right foot. Pretty good ball in there. Lowell diving to his right to save it, or left rather.
Well, so far in just a little bit of time that Triani's in, he's seems like he's been more productive than I just haven't seen much from Paradella tonight with the time he's had.
Final minute of regulation.
Oh, Reno's going to be content just running out the clock.
No goals in the second half for Reno, but they didn't need any. All five coming between minutes 4 and 41 in the first half, including a flurry of goals. 3 of them coming across in a 4-minute span. Mazovsky in the 26th, Kasipli in the 27th, and Mazovsky in the 30th. And just 2 minutes of stoppage time have been added. Paradella giving chase, wins that one back. Finds Mendiola, who gives it right back to him. Into Metheka. Back to Raul. Mendiola gets broken up. And Tacoma gets rid of that one. Here's Kasipli. Lindo plays it back for Will Seymour. As you can tell, Reno, as you mentioned, happy just to run down the clock at this point.
and they'll be happy not giving up any goals and then bursting through and getting tons of goals tonight, and especially from a player that was injured and needed to find his form. And now Mazovsky is doing that. Hopefully he'll continue that through the rest of the season and on into the playoffs. But I really like the wing play tonight.
Oh, yeah. That seems to be a real key. When you get the play of Richards, Lacroix going up and down the field and using their experience as forwards, which they have played for the majority of their careers, at outside back, Reno just becomes a